You got every little problem that you may have, whatever vice you have. You got a woman problem right now, get $100 million and see that problem. That problem gonna show up loud and clear. You see what I'm saying? Now, these people get in trouble right now, bro, and we may laugh at it, but we only see the signs. The whole time though, but that's a problem. That's a problem. All right, I'm gonna give you an example. I ain't gonna give you no other name, but it's guys that's in the league getting in trouble with women. They got fetish with women. They doing little stuff because when you got all that type of money, dog, like, bro, that stuff shows up because now it's at your leisure. Now you can get any woman you want. You can pick and choose. You see what I'm saying?
A lot of times what it is, a lot of these men get into the league, NBA, professional and professional sports. That tends to happen. And if you were not fortunate enough to have a older male in your life to teach you the ropes and teach you the game on how women will try to deceive you and manipulate you, once you get this money, you're going to overindulge with all of this stuff because you're going to have so much money. There is no limit. When you run out of money, that's when everything else stops. We've seen countless stories. I don't watch sports like that, but I have seen countless stories of young guys or guys in general that become famous. They'll say something like, it was one, I think he was a basketball player, and he was saying that he had a girlfriend in every city. It's like, bro, why? You know this woman's not loyal to you. Maybe you didn't want her to be loyal to him. But for you to say that you have a female in every state, not city, yeah, every state, that shit is nasty work. You hear me? Nasty work, right? Because first of all, traveling, you're all over the place all the time. So you're never really gonna know what these women are doing when you're not around. And we already know what these women are doing when you're not around. And let's just say you do have a few that are really not doing too much. You really don't have the time to be able to settle down with any of these women at this point. So these guys will try to buy these women. They don't know the game and don't know that these women are really just finessing them, trying to come up off of them, trying to get a bag. They've been around the block a few times. So they're like, oh, well, I see this guy, he young. You know, he may be impressionable still. It's on the other side too, where they have older women that are preying on younger, successful men. Let's just use Brittany Renner, for example, and what is it, PJ Washington? I can't remember the age difference, but I know she's quite a bit older than he is. And she had already been around the block multiple times, multiple famous celebrities. Now she's landed on Kevin Gates. And that's another story for another day. Yeah, you'll get yourself in these situations. Of course, they're not going to get rid of the child because you are their meal ticket. But we're going to keep back to it let's go and get back to it.
So it ain't all peaches and cream because, like, as men, I truly feel like as men, bro, we need to sit down. We need to talk more about, like, on some real time porn, right? And it's going to a whole nother level because, but what porn does to your brain? It desensitizes your brain. And so you may think like, hey man, she look good or whatever. No, you looking at her as an object, not as a human being. You see what I'm saying? But I see that time from my team. My teammates talk about stuff like from other players and all these other stuff, bro. That's real, dog. So like, just because you got all these blessings, all this money, and all that shit, bro, everything ain't peaches and cream. Because whatever problem that you may have deep down inside that you're not telling nobody about, get some bread, get some money, get whatever you desire. I promise you that show up, and you're not gonna be able to hide it because you can't.
Yep, there's a saying, money doesn't change you, it enables you. Or money doesn't corrupt you, it enables you. So that's alluding to what he just said. These people are already up before they get fame, money, and notoriety. But they do not have the resources, right, to amplify their demons or, shortcomings, their vices. They don't have the resources. But when you have resources, a lot of the times, if you don't have this check before and you're not self-aware and don't self-reflect, it can and will come back to haunt you. Some people recover and some people don't, but go on.
Like, cause when you get that bread though, who you are really comes out. I'm just gonna shoot you straight. So you gotta make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do and who you're supposed to be before you even get to that level. That's why you see these guys are getting in trouble doing this stuff. Like, but there ain't no accident, dog. Like, now if it's,
you see extremely talented celebrities fall victim to these type of things, that's where the average person or their fans come back into realization that these people are also human. So what happens is when you idolize a person or a celebrity for whatever they are known for, and your eyes, up to a certain point, they can do no wrong, or they're perfect, and everything you see is perfect. But you have to realize that those things you see and your eyes witness, you know, you only see the good parts. So when you finally see all this, case in point, Diddy, I'm not gonna say he's talented, you know, to a degree, but he's not like a R. Kelly, for example, or Michael Jackson. If you had idolized these people, you feel let down after, you know, this stuff comes out about them. You're like, oh no, this couldn't be him. This could never be him. This, y'all are lying on him. But if it comes out true, evidence stacked against them, then you come to soon realize that they're human just like you. Me, I'm a YouTuber, and I think sometimes people also with YouTubers, they may not be celebrities, but they have influence at a certain degree. When they get big enough, they'll start having influence, and people will start acting as if we are not human beings when we are just like you. Once they get let down, you can either separate the person from the talent, which would be a good way to look at it, because them as an artist, them as a musician, them as a sports player, it does not take away from their talent at all. But you have to accept that people are not perfect.
Wrongfully accused, and that's different. So, but that's real though. So everything ain't peaches and cream.
Men are at the highest rate they have been with not having intercourse with women. And I don't want y'all to get this misconstrued or anything. I said this in a previous video. Don't force anything. Whatever somebody is making you feel like you have to do, don't have to sleep with women. Don't have to smoke. Don't have to drink. You don't have to do any of this low vibrational shit. You know what I'm saying? To make yourself feel good or make you feel like you need to fit in with somebody's perception or what their interpretation of being cool is. Them, all of that. It don't matter, bro. The only reason I brought up the intimacy thing is because of corn. It is directly correlated to corn, bro. It really does more damage than people like to give it credit for. And it's more of a subconscious thing. You're not going to consciously, you know, realize that. But one of my closest, he's more like a brother actually, guys to me, he told me straight up, he's like, bro, I just think that, you know, me watching XXX has warped my brain. It has made me feel as though I deserve a certain look of female, you know, a certain type of female, and if I don't get it, I don't want it. You see what I'm saying? And you know, I'm trying to help him rewire his brain and his mindset. Be like, look, bro, you know, you have to be realistic with yourself. And first off, we need to go and cut that off. And it may not be cold turkey, but work gradually towards it. If you can do a cold turkey, great. But thing is, it's not doing you no good. You know what I'm saying? And if you think about it, it's a really unnatural thing to do. Watching people do it over a screen and then you're pleasuring yourself to that, it's really unnatural. But like I said, things have been normalized over the years. What it does is once you know, alleviate yourself, it takes away drive, it takes away testosterone to a certain degree. You know, it makes you tired. It makes you feel as though you don't want to go do anything because it's a biological wiring. That was what we were meant to do. Procreate. You're gonna just have to start talking to women, and I give him that. He has been doing that. You just have to start talking to women. Fail, win, lose, or draw. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that. It's about you getting out there and losing the anxiety of talking to women. At the same time, be working on ourselves. That should be at the top of our list. Every day at the top of our list. Trying to become 1% better. You hear it all the time, but it's true. Become 1% better. As long as you were putting in some effort, you know, eventually you will get there. Trial and error, time over tension. And then once you build yourself into a person that deserves a woman that looks better, you might not get that 9, and I don't believe in 10s, but you get yourself a solid 7, 8, right? And she does 90% of what you could envision her being. Enough of that rambling. Make sure down your eyes, girls, show tease. Make sure to drop a comment. Let me know how you feel about this topic. It's your boy Alex. Catch y'all in the next one.